Welcome in everybody to another edition of Valpo Baseball Weekly. Brandon Vickery, glad to be joined by Valpo starting pitcher John Tiemann as we look back at Friday's 8-0 win over SIU Edwardsville and John's 6 shutout innings, 2 hits allowed, a career-high 12 strikeouts. What was working for you in that start?
I think just throwing strikes mostly, getting ahead early, so have those 0-2, 1-2 pitches where you can try and go for the strikeout more. I think just trusting in myself and my teammates and that we could get the job done.
First 2 innings, I think 6 strikeouts, got off to a good start right away. How important is it to establish that rhythm early in a start?
I think it's really important. Just putting up 2 zeros to start the game, I thought was pretty important for me and my rhythm. I thought it gave me a lot of confidence to just go at their hitters and attack them. And I think we put up a run pretty soon after that, so pitching with the lead is always good too.
You don't strike me as someone who gets too high or too low out on the mound. Maybe how would you describe your demeanor out there, and where does that come from?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty even keel on the mound. I love to compete. I love the one-on-one aspect of baseball, just you going against one guy. Yeah, just going out there trying to compete and not let bad things affect you too much, or don't let good things pump you up too much either. So
Second year now as the Friday guy in the Missouri Valley Conference and Valpo's second year in the conference. Just what's your assessment of the type of hitters you face and your impression of the type of competition in this league?
I think the Missouri Valley's got some really good competition. You look through the teams, and most every team's got a guy in their lineup that's going to get drafted pretty high or has good stats on the year. So I think just the competition we face really helps us prepare for those hitters. We know that we're going to face good hitters, and we're more used to it now, and we can better prepare for that.
There he is, Valpo starting pitcher John Tiemann. Now glad to be joined by the head coach Brian Schmack, and we talked with John Tiemann a moment ago, so maybe let's start there with his start against SIUE on Friday night. What did you see from him in that outing?
Yeah, it's, to be honest, probably his most dominant performance of the year, and maybe since he's been here, to be honest. He obviously there was a pretty bad taste in his mouth from the Indiana State games, and I think wanted to get back on track and had a good bullpen. We talked about a couple different things moving forward that he might want to try or approach it, and it was really good. I mean, like I said, he was dominant. His velo was up. It was probably just what he needed, so it was good to see.
Blake Billinger, 4 home runs in the last 4 games. He's moved into a tie for the Missouri Valley Conference lead, 3 in the doubleheader on Saturday. What have you seen from him of late at the plate?
Same thing we've always seen. It's just a great approach. He understands what he can and can't do. He doesn't get himself out very often, so he's just a good hitter. I mean, it's good for our younger guys to see how he approaches his daily work and just how he approaches his at-bats, and hopefully they can start to learn from that, because he just doesn't give many away. And he's really good, he's talented, which helps, but he gives himself an opportunity every at-bat, and when he puts good swings on these baseballs because of who he is, the balls just go, and it's good to see.
Looking back at this week, an interesting week, back-to-back wins, both lopsided, 11-1 and 8-0, and then back-to-back losses to close the week. Just maybe what's the takeaway of this 4 games? What stands out to you about the week as a whole?
It's good to win. It feels good to win, especially in games where they're, maybe not as pressure-filled. You have 10-run rule 1 and you win 8-0. It's just it's just good to be comfortable in those situations and hope guys start to enjoy that. The tough loss on Saturday, the first game, kind of the extra inning game, we had the lead. A call kind of went against us. Ended up losing 4-3, I think, and then just kind of a game that just carried over, I think, from the game 1. And kind of happened at Arkansas State also, and we talked about just being able to separate them. It's hard sometimes. Long days out there, and you lose a tough one early, and then it just carries into the second game. But it can't happen, So for us, we just have to learn how to do that better and handle that.
You talked about the doubleheaders, and you've played many of them this season. Just what are the challenges of playing 2 games in one day, and what's it been like to play so many of them this year?
Yeah, I think we've only had one weekend where we've played Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That was at Dallas, so we've kind of gotten used to it. And I don't think anybody likes doubleheaders. They're just really long days by the time you get out there. And like I said, sometimes you don't have the opportunity to regroup and focus. And oftentimes there's a lot of splits when that happens because teams just aren't focused. You come out, the Saturday game, let's say game one, you lose 4-3 on kind of a tough game. You can go home and sleep it off and regroup and play better again on Sunday. Instead, it just carries into that second game, and it's over before you know it. So we've gotten used to them. We don't like them, but we have to learn how to handle those better, and it's just what we do in the North sometimes too. So
finally, we look ahead, a game at Notre Dame on Tuesday, and then it's a 3-game series against Evansville here this weekend, and maybe the surprise of the Missouri Valley Conference. Evansville picked to finish last. Here they sit toward the top of the standings. What do you expect from the Purple Aces this weekend?
Yeah, it seems like they're playing much better. I know they got some arms that are doing really well. Really haven't gotten too far into the offense, but obviously they're playing well. They're hot. They're confident. It's going to be a challenge. It's a team that we had success against last year, but it's a completely different year. We have guys that are gone. They have guys that are gone. So expecting a tough battle, going to be a good challenge, and want our guys to show up and try to beat them.
Once again, the game on Tuesday night at Notre Dame, and then a 3-game series right here at Emory G. Bauer Field begins on Friday. For all the latest in Valpo baseball, check out valpoathletics.com.